Bringing AI to life. Hello and welcome to our talk on AI in healthcare. In this session, we speak with medical practitioners, healthcare experts, and AI enthusiasts to bring you a ground level understanding of how they have incorporated technology to improve access to quality healthcare and make a real difference to their communities.
Hi, Jerome. Welcome, and thank you very much for joining in the session today. We've had these conversations in bits and pieces when I had come to Philippines or when we met in the Union last year. But again, like I said, I felt this would be great to finally have this heard to the outside world as well in terms of what your experiences have been and maybe good for the TB community at this point in time of where COVID has already affected TB as well. So, Jerome, we've known you for about 2 years now, but for our listeners today, if you can give a very brief introduction about you, what you like, yourself, and PBSP, that would be great.
Yeah, hi, Rashma, and everyone who's listening right now. I'm Jerome Triñona. I'm the account coordinator for the Access TB project. It's the principal recipient of the Global Fund being managed by the Philippine Business for Social Progress. Philippine Business for Social Progress is a non-government organization that has been operating in the Philippines for almost 50 years now. So PBSP as an organization started in the 1970s. Currently, we have 200 plus private companies or as members who pool their resources to provide different social services to the country, such as in the areas of health, education, livelihood. And so PBSP is, as I've mentioned, it's a principal receipt. It's just one of the four components that we are currently operating under this grant. The first one is, of course, the biggest chunk of the TB grant is on programmatic management of drug-resistant tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one is TB HIV collaboration. And then the third one is TB care and prevention, which is I am managing. And the fourth one is on improving health systems.
Thanks for that, Jerome. When I think the first time or the second time I visited Philippines, we have a family friend in Philippines, and I was talking about that we are working with PBSP. They were also very excited because they know the work that you do in the country. And like you said, PBSP is probably the only Global Fund primary recipient in Philippines for tuberculosis, right? And you are doing quite a lot in the country. Can you tell us a bit more about the case detection activity or maybe the Access TB project and more about the uniqueness of the TB program design?
Well, I can say about Access TB is we leverage on the strengths of the TB program and we complement on the other TB projects so that there's synergy in providing TB services to beneficiaries in the Philippines. So if you would notice and if you will have other sessions with other TB projects, we are also in partnership with other TB projects that are more into the technical provision, technical assistance, but we do the direct service provision. So we do not do the technical assistance. So in that sense, we complement on the strengths of other projects. We complement on the strengths of our regional partners. And then so that we find where the gaps are and then provide support where the gaps are identified. So for example, for TB care and prevention, there is a big gap in terms of finding the missing TB cases. And currently, the push is going towards finding the missing TB cases. And Access TB, as one of the oldest partners of the National TB program in the Philippines, jump-started all of these active case finding activities. And now it's now a major portion of the targets of the National TB program to find more TB cases through active case finding, through intensified case finding, and all of these activities where you find all these missing TB cases. We are unique because we help push and jumpstart activities that the project or the program would later on adapt. For example, active case finding. Before, we call it the TB caravan. So we started doing these caravans, quote unquote, visiting. It's generally a caravan of services, visiting a community and then doing the screening. So it slowly evolved from just TB screening to really finding the cases and then now introducing technology such as QXR to further improve the active case finding activity.
I got it. And then when you say the caravan, these are these mobile vans which are fitted with
Yes.
X-ray, which you go to these communities. Yeah,
Yes.
I have also personally experienced the synergies that all the organizations in Philippines have and how you all complement each other working towards the larger outcome, right? And
Yes.
how you just mentioned, PBSP is probably the first adopters of AI for case finding in the country at such a large scale. And I have asked this to you before, but how did you get introduced to AI, the technology? And before adopting this into your program, what were some of the challenges or thought process that you and your team had in getting the solution on board?
Well, as part of the targets for our component is of course finding or case detection. So we have to report certain number of cases that we have managed to locate using the active case finding modality or these TB caravans. And generally this is a very manual thing. It's
Okay.
very dependent on the number of people doing several things like inviting people over to visit the x-ray van. It's a digital van or some could be even analog x-ray vans, but our services are just limited to finding these individuals with presumptive TB symptoms and then having them on x-ray or taking their x-ray. And when do we do that, it sometimes ends there. So it
Okay.
will all results would come in about 1 to 2 weeks after the activity because there is also a limitation in the Philippines for the number of radiologists who would read these images. So since they are very limited, it takes them time to come up with the results because if we do so many screenings, we would submit to them so many images and if they're not working for one organization like ours, they also have their own
Yeah.
hospital duties. So it takes longer time to get our x-ray results, which of course results to missing the people who initially went to the screening activities could no longer be found once we get the results. So it takes that long for the results to come in to 1 to 2 weeks. And then it will take another week for test results for their sputum and then another week for confirmation. So by the time that we get the case, the patient might be, some would probably be dead because they have already have their symptoms and haven't been treated. Some got
Oh,
worse, and some would not even go back because they're already tired of going back and forth. And then they are spending so many time, they're spending money to visit, and then they cut off their work. Do not go to work just to go back to the clinic. So that's one. It's time consuming from detection to treatment. It will take them at least a month to get all of these sorted out. So that's one. So what we thought of is how would we make this screening activity faster so that we won't lose these patients. Initially, we were doing the also a very manual thing. We would be
okay.
asking for the X-ray providers, so could you please bring someone to do a wet reading? So if you're familiar with it, a wet reader is a person who is probably trained, like a radiologist, to look at images on the computer of that X-ray machine during the activity, and then they would, yes, he has probably TB. These are not radiologists. They are
Mm.
not specifically well. Most for mobile vans already available, and yet we are doing this very manually. This is a digital machine, X-ray machine. It's supposed to be faster than a conventional X-ray machine, but it's still
Yeah.
much slower because we do not have readers. It will take radiologists to read an image 1 week at least to get the image. Forums of the National Tuberculosis Program where they invited some speakers from other countries and other program providers. There is one project from Pakistan who presented his project used that he is doing a very similar thing that they send out mobile vans in the communities, but this time they're using AI to read the images. So it just takes minutes to read the images and then immediately the patient's sputum can be collected because they could also. I was so fascinated actually with that probability of instantaneous result. He presented, I immediately talked to this person and asked, how did you do it? Who are and he was just very patient explaining that the technology is like this and like that. So
Okay.
afterwards, we discussed this with the team, and then we presented it to the Global Fund and said that we are seeing that one of your, it's also a Global Fund recipient. So one of
Mhm.
your recipient is using technologies, AI for X-ray reading. Can we look at it as well and use our funds to acquire such a technology so that we can improve our case detection? Because during that time, case detection for our team is really quite low because of all of these difficulties. That's how we started with our journey with using AI in QXR, and of course, incidentally, we selected Cure as the service provider for our active case finding activity.
Okay, got it. You mentioned about the vans which will go into these at-risk or presumptive or cases with symptoms, presumptive cases,
Presumptive,
right? And the
yes.
yeah, the vans which go to these at-risk communities. You talked about that. And once I remember, we went to Batangas, which is probably miles from the main Manila city. And I also remember the rambutan, which was given with love and care.
Yeah.
And at that point of time, you didn't have the technology. I mean, you were still doing the traditional way of a human
Yeah.
reader or vet reader looking at these x-rays, right? What were few of the pain points that your staff had to manage and follow up with these presumptive cases or at-risk cases later on? How did they manage that?
I have three staff: driver, X-ray, rad tech, and then the nurse who comprise the team. So when we get the results a week after, we have to, of course, monitor if these patients have been tested, if these patients have already been enrolled. Since it takes us much longer to give them the results, then once they do the follow up, as I mentioned, we do not end our activity with just the X-ray screening. We have to monitor the activity throughout the cascade of care, from testing to enrollment to treatment, even up to treatment results. So we have to double still check with our partners. So the length of time is really the one of the major pain points. If they could just spend just one day and have this all sorted out, then it's all very easy for them. Priority is their work or whatever it is that they're doing in their home. So if
Mhm.
it take them several visits before they could get their results from screening up to their treatment, then they will not come. But if we could promise that, oh, it will just take you seconds or minutes, and then just some instructions, and then you can go home, then it's very easy for them to consider having themselves tested for TB.
Understood. Well, now you have QXR, which is the AI based reading. So, as and when you have X rays, it picks up and it processes and gives the result. And it's a decision making, right? Whether you need to collect sputum or not.
Yes,
And
yes.
then there is this Q track, which is the mini workflow, which for them to take that decision whether they need to collect the sputum or not immediately for that particular individual. So,
Yes.
now that it is integrated in your system right now, and how has it been done? What is the change?
I'm happy to say that for six manual of operations, manual procedures of the national TB program, they've specifically included the use of AI as one of the technologies that the program can use in detecting TB. So AI as a technology in conjunction with digital X-ray is recommended as one of ways to improve or increase case detection. So some program managers, for example, in Batangas is one of the provinces of a bigger region, which is called Region 4A. They've initiated some of their activities in isolated islands using AI. It's not necessarily QXR, but they've introduced AI because it improves the screening, because since they're located in an island, mobility is also limited. So they want to ensure that screening is improved, and they got that idea because as Access TB, we introduced this concept of using the it's still a bit longer, but instead of 1 month, it now just takes them about a week for a patient to get his results. So that's a
Okay.
significant improvement, and in which they realize that this technology can be used And that's why it's one of the technologies that has been introduced in the sixth manual of procedures of the National TB program. So, in that sense, the other regional NTP managers are also starting to think of including AI in their programs in their respective provinces and regions.
Nice. That's very good to know. And while you were mentioning about the patient experience aspect, right, that they have to spend a lot of money coming back and forth. So I remember
Yes.
one such experience we also had in India in one of the
Yeah.
screening activity. There was a lady, and she was asked by the health worker on what her symptoms are, and she was saying that she is having cough for about 1 year. And
Mhm.
the health worker was asking her, I mean, why she didn't turn up for the past 1 year. She actually said that 1 year ago, when she had her symptoms, she got her tested, or her doctor advised her to take a chest X-ray. She did a chest X-ray, but she could never
Mhm.
return back after a few days when the X-ray results were available, because she had to come back again, and that was really
Yeah.
cumbersome for her. Travel a lot of miles, right?
Yeah.
So when you said that, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was remembering, and. Currently, there are a lot of initiatives or that has been taken or will be taken more towards a patient-centric approach in TB.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you introduced any such elements or will be introducing any patient-centric approach for in your screening activity?
Well, using QXR is already a part of a patient-centric approach
Okay.
because the idea is the national TB program is the program itself is leading towards the patient not spending money or the lessening the catastrophic costs. When you are sick with TB or any other disease, you would have to spend not just money, time, effort. You sacrifice your work, you sacrifice your relationships because you have to go away and not and worry until you get your results. So the push of the program is, of course, to lessen catastrophic costs as one of the approach in a more patient-centric service. So traditionally, when we do our TB screening, as I mentioned, it takes them weeks to get the results, and even visiting during an active case finding activity it entails expense already. So imagine having to ask a patient to go back 2, 3 times until
Yeah.
he gets his result. That's his expenses multiplied by four or five times. So imagine reducing that into just one day. There is still expense by the patient in terms of probably his transportation, but reducing 5 times the transportation in just one is already a big help to a patient. And then by getting AI or QXR as a technology and getting the results during that day, patients have already been their sputum is already taken and is immediately tested. So they don't have to wait so long for their results. And then patient-centered approach also is they don't have to even visit the testing centers anymore because the collection is done during the day of the screening. What has been introduced is the results are called or sent texted to the patient, so the patient gets his results through SMS.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to visit the testing center anymore. He doesn't have to visit for results. And because of the pandemic, also we are shifting our efforts to instead of the daily visits to a health center to get the medicines, we are slowly shifting to a 1 week supply of TB drugs that the patient can take home and then take the medicines in their home. So all of these efforts have been towards patient centered care, and it all already starts with using or with the screening process. So when you screen and then you put the patient welfare in mind, so you have to think what would be the best solution to improve the experience of the patient so that he will continue on and get his treatment. So it starts with the screening. If it's easy for him or her to get the screening, and then we continue on along the cascade of care and make it easier for them, it will be faster, not just faster, it will be more acceptable for patients to get treatment.
Great. So, well, you seem to have already taken those steps. Have you heard anything from the patients per se? Have they come forward and shared any experience with you recently?
Well, nah, not in particular, not with the patients, because we go in and go out, and
Right.
but of course during program reviews with our regional partners, the regional partners would always report the improvement in their active case finding activities due to the support of Access TB, and of course in part due to the use of the AI. So that in itself, if we see that there is an improvement or an increase in cases that are found and the patients that are treated, I think more than the data that we get, the appreciation of the program partners that their screening processes has improved because of the introduction of AI. That's already a good testament for us, or a good example that we
Mhm.
can share. But of course, we could always go back and ask people what has been this experience so far. But it's more of the program managers who has expressed their appreciation of the use of the technology. And we've been also been operating in some hospitals where we use the AI, and even the program managers or the hospital staff that has seen the technology at firsthand is very appreciative of the technology that makes their work much easier to do.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Jerome. This is
Yeah.
fantastic. And before we wind up, do you have any learnings or insights that you want to share with the TB community?
Well, as learnings, yeah, when we started these active case finding activities, we were just gung ho with our guns ablazing and going to the field, and let's do this. And we realized that there are so many challenges that we have to face. And when we got the AI as a technology, of course, we have to admit it's in infancy in the Philippines during that time. It was not a
Right.
perfect technology. We also experienced some birthing pains. Of course, the internet architecture in the Philippines leaves so much to be desired. But the one thing that we experience is technology can always adapt. QXR or and Cure as our partner has been very helpful in continuously helping us and adapting the technology to the limitations of the Philippines in terms of internet connectivity and all that. So I think if I could share one thing, it's just we should not be afraid to use technology, because technology is continuously being improved. And there are so many bright people out there who are continuously helping us get to the potential of our activities by using so many technologies. And one of them is, of course, AI. And we could not imagine seeing this technology in our lifetime. I could not really imagine using AI as a technology in reading X-rays and detecting TB. I thought it was just science fiction, but we were very open-minded about it.
Great, great. You know, that's very insightful, because many programs in different parts of the world, they are a little bit, they do not want to move away from the conventional methodologies, because
Yeah.
they're afraid, or they do not know what would happen, and will it change in a very positive way what they have already achieved so far, etc. Right. So this, I think, is a great insight for all of them. Thank you very much, Jerome. This has been a wonderful. I mean, like I said, we've spoken many times about these in bits and pieces,
Yes.
but today it has been wonderful. I could understand everything that you've probably gone through. What was it before using the software? After using the software, the challenges that you had. Thank you very much, Jerome.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank you,
you so
Reshma,
much.
and
Yeah.
regards
Okay.
to
Bye bye.
everyone to
Yes.
Cure. Bye bye.
Yes. Yeah. Bye bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.